What's up? It's your boy Domuto. We back with another video. Today we're watching UnrealEntGaming. Oh shit. Beyond Dragon Ball Super, Master Legendary Super Saiyan Broly vs. Primos finale. The new gods arrive. Okay. My boy, we already seen Broly turned up, man. Turned up, boy. Against Primos, man, and or Primos, and we about to see him fuck him up. I already know, boy. Come on, son. We ready. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and let's get it. Yes, sir. Here you go.
As our story continues now, following the initial events of Broly successfully now having to be shown mastering and evolving his power into wielding a brand new transformation for the first time, as it was only with his upcoming and presumably final battle with Universe 18's God of Destruction Primos now imminent was when Goku went on to further observe by questioning, "This is just unbelievable, as none of us would have ever have expected to watch Broly and undergo something like this, but if what it was that you had said about Broly being true, and if he really is the modern incarnation of the legendary Super Saiyan, then does that mean..."
Now that I got y'all attention, right? So I made a Dragon Ball hot takes video. It's gonna be above right here. So go check it out. Tell me what y'all think about my hot takes. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, we'll get back into the video after you watch it.
Mean that he has the power to finally put a stop to Lord Primos for good?
Or watch it
because what if he ends up completely having to lose himself again beneath the weight of all of that power? So do you think that he could really go and stay in control this time? With Whis responding, "Now while your concerns for Broly's well-being are very understandable, Goku, allow me to go and put your mind at ease so that way you can better understand. So now yes, while Lord Primos is indeed considered to be one of the top 3 most formidable destroyers among them all, and the true force to be reckoned with by any measure, Broly, on the other hand, is no longer the same fighter that he once was either, and that is simply because if Broly is able to articulate his thoughts and tap into his consciousness, then that only goes as far as to show us that he is no longer a monster in battle, but a strategist instead," Whis continues, "as he is a fighter with a purpose and the fighter with a mission, as this makes him a completely different opponent than how he was shown previously being to Lord Primos before, and if he doesn't go and take him serious now, then I can only assume that Lord Primos will inevitably end up taking him absolutely seriously if Lord Primos wishes to survive by the very end. But even to that, we will have to wait and see," to which, as Primos and Broly were then shown having to be back to back, with Primos being shown turning and addressing Broly, was when Primos then went on to respond, "You claim that you are going to break me, but you are the one who is foolish enough to believe that this new transformation of yours is going to be the key to your victory, Saiyan. For I have seen countless warriors evolve themselves and change only to be crushed beneath my heel in the end. For if I was able to go and smash you before, then you can rest assured that I will go and smash you again. Only this time you will not be so lucky to stand across from my path and oppose me like this ever again. And so while I am offering you one final opportunity to speak before you are destroyed, do you wish to take this moment to bow before your superior and beg for your life to be spared, or do you hope to go through with your actions and perish during our final battle?" With Broly being shown looking towards the sky and responding, "You know, I find it interesting that you stand there and offer me a chance to beg for my life and to submit myself to your very will, but I would rather face my end through the fires of battle than ever willingly go as far as to submit to anyone, let alone the likes of you," Broly says. "For the power that you sense that is coming from me now is a testament to everything I've endured throughout my life," Broly continues, "as it is not something that you should just go and take lightly just because you were able to best me in battle before, because if you do, Destroyer, then you are going to find out the hard way on why this was a mistake, for I will not back down here against you, and if this is going to be my final battle, then I will make sure that it is a battle that you will never forget, because if I'm going down, then I am going to take a piece of you with me. Well then, if you wish to stand across from me in defiance after being previously beaten by me before," Primos went on to then charge up his energy fist by then responding, "then I will go and inflict upon you a pain the likes of which you have yet to ever experience, as your newly formed powers will only only now be remembered as nothing more than a flicker of light beneath the crushing weight of a far greater and overwhelming power, Saiyan. And so just know that while I went on to crush you before, there will be no amount of power that you will be able to generate that will prevent me from crushing you again. But it was only just upon with Primos being shown having to attempt to backhand Broly across the face with Broly shown ducking on under before attacking was when Broly then went on to quickly respond. Then I want you to go and watch very carefully as I go and prove you wrong, Destroyer. To which it was all of a sudden within that very moment as Broly went on to stand back up by having to spin and being shown having to strike Primos' ribcage was when Goku then went on to quickly observe by chiming back in. Whoa, hey, did you guys just see what I just saw? As Broly had went and positioned himself to counter with the strategic counterattack rather than simply go and try to tank Lord Primos' strike, which was often something that Broly had always ended up doing even while against us, whether during training or when we had went and first engaged with him on Earth, and so incredible, for he's really doing it. Why, you puny, disgusting Saiyan, one lucky strike isn't going to change the outcome behind what you and I know will inevitably happen here between us, Primos then went on to shout, as I can go and assure you that luck will not be on your side if you wish to keep your life here against me, for I am mighty and you are not. But it was even despite with the God of Destruction once again being shown having to miss his strike, with Broly being shown having to avoid it before striking Primos, was when Broly then went on to respond, are you sure that you want to go and say that this is luck, Destroyer? Because since you wanted me to go and show you what my primal Saiyan power was truly capable of, especially while referring to me as nothing more than just a primitive beast among puny mortal men within Universe 7, and so now tell me, does this seem like it's luck to you, God of Destruction? Because judging based from the sweat that I can start seeing that's dripping down from your forehead, I'm willing to bet that you are starting to see that it's not. Am I right, God of Destruction? And if you still don't believe it, then allow for this primitive brute who you claim to dwell among the weakest of men to turn you into a believer. But then, it was only just upon Broly being shown having to kick Primos back before Primos was shown having to leap on back on his feet and avoiding Broly's sweep was when Primos then went on to quickly respond. Alright, legendary Super Saiyan, and now we're talking, and now you have my full and undivided attention. And so now that I can start to see that you really have improved following your brief but yet inferior evolution, you've just made our little battle here far more interesting than I would have given you credit for, Broly. And since you are finally at your very best here against me, Saiyan, then what do you say we go and measure your durability and see how much more of this you can take this time around? To which it was only then within that moment as Primos was then shown tackling himself directly into Broly and dragging him further out into the forest was when Vegeta went on to then quickly chime back in. This is just astonishing to watch unfold, as despite with everything that we thought that we knew about Broly and what he was truly capable of, the fact that he is able to go head to head against Lord Primos like this while being completely overtaken by him in battle before is just amazing. For I've seen that beast within him before, that uncontrollable fury that seemed impossible for Broly to tame, but yet there he stands, not just containing it, Vegeta continues, but wielding it as a weapon. And so what's changed, Vegeta questions? How did he go on to evolve to such a level where he is not only fighting a God of destruction, but actually edging him out like this in battle and seemingly with ease?
Man, that's just Broly, man.
Well, Broly's level of mastery didn't just come from raw strength alone, Whis responds, but it rather came from the very understanding of his own limitations and for the ability for Broly to control the beast from within. And while I can't seem to stress enough on how important it is for both you and Goku to take notes on this, I'm afraid that it's becoming increasingly clear that while you have both been honing your abilities this entire time, Gohan and Broly, on the other hand, have surpassed our expectations in leaving you both one step behind. But even then, with Broly being shown having to knock Primos on down to the ground, with Primos then being shown having to charge his energy up before having to power up, was when Primos then went on to utter, "This is getting annoying, and so why won't you stay down? For you shouldn't be able to fight back against me like this, and so why
but he is, though,
won't you
Primos.
just stay down? Why won't you just die and submit to my very will instead of continuing to challenge me, Saiyan? For I am the king of beasts and the strongest among the strong, and the one true alpha among my kind. And so because of my title, don't assume victory just yet. Primos then went on to charge towards Broly by responding, because I haven't had a battle that has gotten me this fired up since the days of when I went and waged war against the other gods of destruction for the title of strongest. To which it was only then within that very moment, as Primos was then shown having to headbutt Broly right before the two were shown having to engage once more, was when Goku went on to then chime back in. Incredible, just look at those two go up there. It almost makes me wonder on just how far they're both willing to go while they're laying it all on the line against each other like this, but I'm just worried that Lord Primos will try to wear Broly down by the end and finish him after draining him of whatever energy that Broly will have remaining, you know, with Vegeta responding, well, let's not go and just assume that Broly is going to run out of gas here first, Kakarot, because if you go and look closely, it doesn't seem as though he is tiring out anytime soon either. But what I will say is that with the way this is going, I would be a little worried too if I were you, with Goku then asking, but if that's the case, then do you think that we should go and jump in, you guys, with Gohan quickly having to interrupt? I wouldn't go and jump in there just yet, because I trust that even while Lord Primos is attempting to try to do everything he can to push Broly back in this battle, and I still have faith that Broly has what it takes to beat that destroyer when this is all said and done. And so for the time being, I would just wait and see for now, with Whis then quickly having to chime back in. Yes, and I second this actually, because while Lord Primos is still able to fight back and seemingly push Broly back despite his newly discovered evolution, I still do not believe that this is a cause for major concern here, for it is clear to me that Broly not only possesses the raw power necessary to match Lord Primos' power output, but he is also seemingly demonstrating a level of control that he wants for Lord Primos to always remember following this battle, as despite with Lord Primos' relentless counterattacks, Broly appears to be fully aware of his surroundings, his actions, and the consequences of each move that he makes for this battle, because as fearsome as this battle is, this seems to be unfolding in Broly's favor the longer this goes, and I do not believe that he requires any assistance at the moment. And while it looks as though Broly's raw and mastered power appears to be a bit too much for Lord Primos to keep up with and anticipate within the moment, Whis continues, if anything, I would go and say that Broly should hurry and take whatever chance that he may go and have now to finish this before Lord Primos were to be given any chance to retaliate. Yes, I agree, and so this is your chance to go and finish him off once and for all, Broly, Gohan then went on to quickly shout. And then so don't let him try to get a leg up on you, Broly, and go and put that destroyer right into his place while you can, with Beerus chiming back in. Yes, and if you know what's good for you, then you will use all of the momentum that you have left within this fight and hit that destroyer by using everything that you've got without running the risk of destroying this entire universe in the process. And so now go and hurry it up and fire your best shot at him now before that destroyer is given the chance to stand. To which that was exactly what Broly was beginning to now do, because with Broly now beginning to channel all of his energy and condensing it by getting ready to fire a massive blast at Primos, was when Goku went on to then quickly chime back in. That's right, and so we believe in you and know that you have the power to end this battle once and for all, Broly. And so now go and lay it into him and don't hold anything back while you go and give that god of destruction everything that you have, Broly.
Give it to him,
just
Broly.
try to remember your training that you underwent with me and Vegeta and blast that destroyer by using all of your might and do it now. Oh, but how is this mortal able to evolve himself this much into matching my brute power like this? Primos went on to then turn on over by having to oversee Broly's upcoming attack. For this must be some kind of a fluke, because there's just no way that this is happening. Oh,
it might be a thumbnail right here.
For you may go and try your best, but even your best won't be enough to keep me
still talking
down.
shit, Primos?
But then it was only just
Get out of here,
now
buddy.
having to be shown unleashing his monstrous attack, and from that point then being shown making contact with Primos was when Vegeta then went on to quickly chime back in. Oh, hey, try not to go and destroy the rest of us in the process now, will you, Broly? Whoa, what incredible power, Goku then went on to quickly respond. And he was also able to actually make sure to concentrate all of his power and making sure that the blast itself was fully in his control too. Well, I told you guys, Gohan responds, because I knew that Broly had it within him to do as I did, but the attack actually work now is the question. again. To which it was only moments after the fact, with Broly being shown having to look on and wondering as to what the overall situation involving Primos was now, was when Broly then went on to respond, "There, now so much for being just a savage brute with no evolutionary tactics to go and use against the so-called mightiest god of destruction. And so now let's just see the status of your condition in order to determine on what I'll go and use on you next." But then, it was only surprisingly enough with Primos shown having to defend himself while lying in a crater with ashes and smoke all around him, was when Primos then went on to utter, "You've got guts, Saiyan, I'll give you that. For that blast was just monstrous for a mortal who has only just recently tapped into using their full potential. For it was an impressive display from someone who I did not expect this from. But if you believe that this battle is over, then you have no idea on what you're in for, Saiyan. For I may be battered, but I am far from beaten. And if you think that this is truly the end, then you are gravely mistaken, as I have plenty of more fight that's left within me. And so while you may have grazed me and brought me down within the moment," Primos continues, "you are about to go and find out on why keeping me alive was the worst decision that you had ever went and made. Now, while I'm surprised to see that you were able to hold yourself out in surviving my attack the way you just did by using your destructive power as a way to shield yourself from critical damage," Broly went on to then respond, "for it would be far easier for you to just stay down and admit that you've lost, because if you don't," Broly continues, "then whatever comes next, I will promise you, will not be something that I believe that you will be strong enough to endure twice like this. And if that also means that I will need to exert every drop of energy that I have to see to it that this is done, then you know as well as I do that I am going to do it. And so what is it going to be, God of Destruction? For the choice is yours," with Primos then having to sit up by responding, "And you think that this scares me, Saiyan? Because you could just go ahead and try, but just know that even if you go and try to hit me with an attack like that again, then I will not only shock you once more by surviving, but I will also go and fire back with my own attack that will not only be far greater than the one that you've went and fired down upon me, but one that will overtake and destroy you the moment it goes on to make contact with your rotten mortal body. And so now go ahead then, Saiyan, do your worst," with Broly responding, "You arrogance destroyer, it's amazing that while your body is slowly starting to give out on you, your pride continues to push you forward, where you also seem to be clinging on to the very same rage that had once consumed me. But let me now be the first to go and say that the path that you have chosen to walk down will only lead you down one place, the grave, God of Destruction. And while I never had intended to go and do this," Broly went on to then continue, "I will hereby now go and give you exactly what you asked for, and whether you are able to survive this or not will be all on your head," Broly says. "And if what you say about your full power is true, then if you don't draw this primal rage out and use it to defend yourself here against me, then you can go and kiss your status as being an alpha destroyer goodbye." But then, to which it was only then within that very moment, surprisingly enough, as a hand went on to grab Broly from behind and having to prevent Broly from further destroying Primos, was when the individual went on to then respond, "I believe that is enough, young warrior, for while I do understand the anger that burns within you along with the desire for you to finish what Lord Primos had started, but as a god of destruction, I must ask you to consider the consequences of your actions, as Lord Primos lies beaten and struggles to stand prior to using his absolute and full strength against you, as with his arrogance stripped away and his power overshadowed, there is no need for this to continue, mortal. To which it was only upon with Broly then being shown having to turn his head and surprisingly enough being met by none other than Universe 19's God of Destruction Tigron and Universe 20's God of Destruction Ligor was when Ligor then went on to continue. And while he is no longer a threat unless he were to be able to rise and invoke his full power against you as a last resort, which I doubt that he will go and do, then there is no need for you to go and spill any more of his blood, as you have proven yourself to be equally as worthy against him, Ligor continues. And so I want for you to go and show mercy, for it is mercy that we find the true measure of strength within Saiyan. And so now leave Lord Primos to his fate and let your victory be remembered for the restraint that you showed against him, while also going as far as to stare into the face of his overwhelming and destructive power, Ligor adds. And so because of this, let Lord Primos live on with the knowledge of his defeat, and let this moment stand as a testament to your true nature, for Lord Tigron and I have been patiently observing you mortals while dealing with the other gods of destruction, and so we are both very much well aware of everything. You've got to be kidding me, Vegeta went on to then shockingly respond. Those two are gods of destruction too? And just look at them both. They're huge, but I don't understand. Were these the two additional destroyers that you have been dealing and telling me with about that the Omni Kings had went and spawned into by merging within the multiverse, Kakarot? Because now that they are here, what does this mean? With Goku responding, oh yeah, that's them alright, but although I'm not really sure as to why they're both here, did you also happen to overhear what Lord Ligor had just mentioned to Broly, Goku questions? Because it sounds like they've been closely watching us, likely during each of our battles with those resurrected gods of destruction.
They're taking y'all out.
Since
They're
those
taking
two
y'all
are
out.
newly created destroyers and really don't have it out, or at least have anything against Lord Beerus, then what do you think it is that they want, since they both already knew as to where exactly we were gonna be? To which, as Primos was then shown having to acknowledge the other destroyers by sitting up, was when Primos then went on to respond, well, if it isn't the newly crowned destroyers of the recently introduced universes 19 and 20. Well, for whatever reason, the two of you have decided to come and show your faces. I do not need either of you to help me, Primos reiterates. And while you may have gotten the better of me from within the moment, don't expect for those other destroyers to be what saves you here, Saiyan. Because while I'm still able to draw breath within this body, I am going to continue to fight you until one of us is no longer able to do so, mortal. And so now let us go and resume as to where we had left off, because I am not done with you. But then it was only just as Primos was looking to continue his battle with Broly, as the destroyer Tigron went on to point something out to Primos by addressing him, was when Tigron then went on to quickly respond, you will go and do no such thing, Primos, for we didn't come down here to help aid you, but instead we made sure to see to it that you do not proceed with this battle any further, for you had went and had your chance to go and finish this battle against the mortals, but instead you have went and allowed for your ego to go and take control of the situation. And so now you will stand down, destroyer, with Primos responding, you what? How dare you go and speak to me with such disrespect, God of Destruction? For you have no idea as to who it is that you are talking to like that, and so no, but we do in fact, Ligor went on to quickly then cut in, as I will hereby advise for you to just simply go and calm yourself down before you end up making things far worse for yourself than they already are, destroyer. And so that will be my one and only final warning to you from here on, as Broly then went on to turn towards Liger by then responding, well, being the fact that you are both now already here, what is the true nature of your visit in this universe and what your intentions are, since we are all already here? With Liger responding, the strength that you have displayed here today is a testament to the evolution of Universe 7's immortal warriors, and while Lord Tigron and I have long observed the rising tide of power among you mortals, I must say that it is both intriguing and a little concerning, Ligor adds. And with the very balance of power in the multiverse now shifting, it would appear as though both you, along with your comrades, are at the forefront of that very change, Ligor continues. But along with this great potential comes great responsibility, for even though the disputes that once plagued Lord Beerus and the other destroyers are now over, there is still much more that waits for us that is looming over the horizon that we must go and talk about and discuss, especially now that you are all seemingly at the forefront of your absolute powers. And so now let's talk. To which it was only right then and there now, during that moment, where the Beyond Dragon Ball Super story of the resurrected fallen gods of destruction, the Universe 18 saga, manga chapter number 7 finale, then comes to a close.
Well, actually, I'll go ahead and take it from here.
Alright, Broly. We saw Broly kick some ass. It's always good to see Broly kick some ass in a controlled form. Ligor, Tiger, whatever. Tigron. They look fire, bro. I want to see. I'm pretty sure. No way really. Maybe probably a fight coming soon with somebody fighting them niggas. So yeah, Primos, get your bitch ass on somewhere. I ain't gonna lie. Out all the new god of destruction is the one I hate the most. Ooh, I didn't like Cobra. That nigga getting on my nerves. Cobras. My fault, not Cobra. Oh, that little leprechaun dude was getting on my nerves too. Nah, yeah, the leprechaun dude. Cause he kept spamming that better you or me. I hated that one. He's the worst one. I hated that one. He sucked. That's why Gohan cooked his ass. Anyway, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Check out the last chapter right here. And check out my Dragon Ball Hot Takes video right here. And peace.